Hello, I'm Peter Bergman. This is my official YouTube channel. I'll be updating you with the latest news, so please subscribe to my channel.
Welcome back to our channel, Tapeheads and Soap Addicts. Today is a beautifully chaotic Tuesday, and we are strapped in to decode the absolute insanity that just dropped on our screens. Grab your coffee, because we are going deep today. Okay, I literally cannot believe this. Can we please process this mess together? Might delete this later, but I seriously can't stay silent about this anymore. Please tell me I'm not the only one losing my mind over this. Because it is 3 a.m., my eyes are practically bleeding from staring at this screen, and I just hit record, because this grueling, decade-long journey has finally pushed me completely over the edge. I am ditching the script. I am breaking all the filters. I am here to deliver some unfiltered hard truths about the Abbott family, because basically there are legends carrying this entire journey on their shoulders, while others are single-handedly testing my sanity, and I am going to call every single one of them out right now. Listen, we need to talk about the Abbott mansion. Look, it is supposed to be this impenetrable fortress of generational wealth and perfect hair gel. Kyle and Diane literally just waltzed through those giant mahogany doors, probably expecting the usual luxurious routine. Basically, you expect Jack Abbott to be standing there in a perfectly tailored suit, swirling a scotch, dropping some pseudo-philosophical wisdom about family legacy, but suddenly the vibe is completely off. The silence in that house is deafening. It is that heavy, suffocating kind of quiet that immediately tells you something is catastrophically wrong. Honestly, the tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife, which, spoiler alert, is exactly what happened. Unbelievable, guys. What's going on here? Kyle and Diane are just standing there, low-key expecting a warm greeting, maybe a little banter about Jabot's quarterly earnings, but Jack is nowhere to be found. And honestly, my heart started hammering in my chest, because I knew, times the writers were setting us up for a lethal crunch. Suddenly they step into the dining room. The Abbott dining room, guys, the place of Thanksgiving disasters and corporate shouting matches. And what do they find? Jack Abbott, the patriarch, the legend, collapsed on the floor. And not just collapsed, he is literally covered in blood. I am screaming. The entire dining room floor is just a pool of red, and Jack is down. This is not a drill. Wait, why are we like this? Why do we subject ourselves to this emotional terrorism? I am sitting here in the dark, clutching my head, because seeing Jack on that floor, completely unresponsive, is a total game changer. It is absolute psychic damage. Kyle's face, major flex from the actor, by the way, because the sheer unadulterated horror in his eyes was a masterclass. Diane is basically frozen, her entire redemption arc flashing before her eyes as the man she finally secured is bleeding out on the hardwood. And the blood, honestly, it was so visceral. This wasn't just a dramatic feint. This was a brutal, violent, high-octane ambush that completely murdered the fourth wall. And then the truth drops. The absolute lore-shattering truth of who did this. Basically, it wasn't Victor Newman sending a message. It wasn't some random corporate rival trying to steal Jabot. It was Patty Williams. Yes, you heard me. Patty freaking Williams. I literally threw my notebook across the room. Patty is back, and she brought a knife to a greeting. Honestly, this is the most unhinged, brilliant, terrifying twist of the decade. Patty Williams, the queen of psychological fallout, the architect of some of the most chaotic plots in Genoa City history, just casually strolled into the Abbott mansion and carved up Jack like a holiday roast. Look, if you don't know the lore, you need to educate yourself right now. Patty's obsession with Jack is a low-key obsession that has spanned literal decades. From the plastic surgery to the fake identities. Remember Mary Jane Benson? Remember the dead cat? Basically, Patty has been spiraling in a chaotic feedback loop of transcendent hype and absolute narrative betrayal for her entire life, all because Jack Abbott could never truly love her the way she needed. And now, she has weaponized that trauma. She didn't just stab him. She executed a physical manifestation of her decades of heartbreak. Suddenly, the knife isn't just a weapon, It is a symbol of every broken promise Jack ever made to her. Whoa, I've really gone off chasing butterflies into another dimension. Bring in the signal back. Let's stick to the script, or lack thereof, because honestly, I am so sleep deprived I can barely see straight. But listen to me. You have to understand the magnitude of this. Diane Jenkins is standing there looking at Jack bleeding out, and you just know she is internally screaming. Diane and Patty have history. Remember when Patty was masquerading as Myrna Murdoch, the housekeeper? Diane has been terrorized by this woman before. The layers of trauma here are absolutely insane. It is a major flex by the writers to pull Patty out of the vault for this exact moment. Look, we cannot forget that this isn't even the first time Patty has resorted to extreme violence against Jack. Remember when she shot him? Basically, the woman has a historical precedent for turning her emotional agony into physical trauma for Jack Abbott. The fact that she upgraded or downgraded, depending on how you look at it, to a knife this time makes it so much more intimate. A gunshot is distant, but a stabbing, that requires you to be up close and personal. You have to look the person in the eyes. Honestly, thinking about Patty staring into Jack's eyes as she drove that knife in is sending me into an absolute tailspin. It is a total game changer for the violence scale on this show. Honestly, I am just spiraling right now. I am looking at Kyle, who has already lost so much, who has been put through the emotional ringer time and time again, and now he has to watch his father bleed out on the floor. Kyle is basically going to snap. This is a total game changer for his character. Is he going to go on a dark, vengeful rampage? Is he going to hunt Patty down? Because honestly, I would pay good money to see Kyle Abbott completely lose his mind and go full vigilante. But wait, maybe Jack kind of brought this on himself? I mean, he hasn't exactly been a saint to the women in his past. He plays with fire, and sometimes you get burned, or in this case, stabbed. No, wait, that's victim blaming. I can't say that. See, I am contradicting myself because my brain is absolutely fried and the adrenaline is making me jittery. Look, the digital native pulse of this show is peaking right now. The timeline is going to explode. The hive mind is going to completely melt down when they see this episode. I am literally dumping my unedited psychic damage onto you guys right now because I need the only circle that speaks this language to witness my existential collapse. We have spent years watching Jack rebuild his life, rebuild his family, finally find some semblance of peace with Diane, and then boom, high octane jump cut to a horror movie in the Abbott dining room. It is beautifully tragic and horribly compelling. Listen, the sheer mechanics of this scene were flawless. The way the camera panned from Kyle's confused face at the front door, tracking their slow, hesitant footsteps through the foyer, the ambient sound dropping out completely, leaving only the sound of Diane's heels clicking on the floor. And then, suddenly, the sharp gasp, the frantic rush forward, the camera angle looking up from the floor, showing Jack's pale face and the crimson stain spreading across his crisp white shirt. Honestly, it was cinema. It was raw frames that pack a lethal crunch. Basically, the director woke up and chose violence, and I am here for it, even if it is destroying my emotional stability. And what about Patty? Where is she? Did she just stab him and ghost? Is she hiding in the house? Oh my God, what if she is still in the house? I am literally panicking right now. Imagine Kyle and Diane kneeling over Jack trying to stop the bleeding, and suddenly Patty just steps out of the shadows with that terrifying innocent smile of hers. No, I cannot handle that. The caps lock is on because my heart rate is at terminal velocity. If Patty Williams is lurking in the Abbott mansion right now, I am going to need a medic on standby because I will actually pass out. Honestly, this is why we watch. This is the grueling, decade-long journey we signed up for. We endure the slow corporate storylines, the endless boardroom meetings, the repetitive dialogue, all for this one singular moment of absolute lore-shattering chaos. This is a massive payoff for long-term fans. It validates every hour we've spent dissecting these characters. Patty Williams stabbing Jack Abbott is the kind of high-stakes drama that built this genre. It is a reminder that in Genoa City, your past is never truly buried. It is always waiting in the dark, holding a very sharp knife. Basically, I need to go lie down, but I know I won't be able to sleep. I am going to be staring at the ceiling, replaying that image of Jack on the floor over and over again. How does he survive this? Can he survive this? And if he does, what is the psychological toll? Jack has always been the confident, somewhat arrogant center of the Abbott family. To be struck down so brutally in his own home by a ghost from his past that changes a man, it is a total game changer for his psyche. Will he become paranoid? Will he push Diane and Kyle away? And Diane, let's talk about Diane for a second. She finally got the ring. She finally got the man. She finally got the respect of the town, mostly. And now she might lose him to the one woman whose obsession rivals her own. Honestly, the poetic justice, the twisted irony of it all is staggering. Diane is going to have to fight for Jack's life, and then she is going to have to fight for his sanity. This is her ultimate test. If she can pull the Abbott family through this crisis, she will cement her legacy forever. But if she crumbles, Patty wins. Basically, the stakes have never been higher. Look, I am wrapping this up before I completely lose my voice, but please sound off in the comments. I need to know you guys are feeling this lethal crunch too. We are in this chaotic feedback loop together. Jack Abbott is bleeding out. Patty Williams is on the loose. And Genoa City will never be the same. I am signing off, but I am low-key obsessing over every single frame of that scene. Pray for Jack, pray for Kyle's sanity, and honestly, pray for all of us, because this ride is just getting started.
Thank you for watching my video. I will be updating regularly with the latest news, so please remember to subscribe to my channel to support me.